So we'll just start the episode with it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. We live?
We're live.
Episode, is this 20 finally?
21.
21. Episode 21.
Yep.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh, we already started? Okay,
Yes.
Cool. All right.
We have a special guest.
Yeah. Tony Bricks. Can I
What's
call you
going
Tony
on?
Bricks still?
Absolutely.
Okay.
At Lou Fest, you called me out when I tried to introduce myself as Anthony. You were like,
No.
no.
You're Tony Bricks, bro. So Tony Bricks is, I've known him for years. He was the manager of the Chalk Boys. The Chalk Boys, not duh. I don't know what I just said. But awesome guy, if I could say so myself. I've partied a few times with him, and it's always been a good time. Remember one time we went to McDonald's and got like $50 worth of McDonald's after a party.
Nice.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
So he's here. He's gonna give us his insight.
And we are Sans, our co-host.
Sans Nate.
Sans Nate. Sans Hate Nate.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Tony wants to know what happened.
well,
So let's pick up where we left off.
Starting to think I'm bad luck or something. Like,
No.
when's the last time this has happened? It's been a while, right?
You
me,
know-
me and Nate has fallen out before.
Yeah,
This isn't
we
the
all
first
have.
time. Oh yeah.
We all have, and it's cyclical and inevitable. You know, we were around each other a lot. Tech and I see each other almost every day thanks to the gym and stuff like that. So you're going to say something. You're going to pop off. You're going to say something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then, guys have different levels of machismo. So some guy might turn around immediately and go, oh, shit, man, I'm sorry. Another
Yeah.
guy's going to take like a month and go,
So last episode, me and Nate got into it because he made this really off the cuff joke about the Madden shooter.
I was listening.
Yeah.
And it had been a few episodes of jabs. One in particular that sticks out in my mind that I knew he was trying to get me angry was the "you're not a gamer" thing. And the
Yeah.
reason, I mean, obviously I'm a competitive guy, and the reason that pissed me off is because I beat him in every video game we played, except for maybe he may have got me in Tekken 7.
sure.
You know, so like that it pissed me off. But that's very petty. But it just felt like
But a mountain of petties starts to get heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with the situation with Siraj many episodes ago, I didn't, it was just compiling. And then that Madden joke was so cringy. Like the joke, the delivery, all of it was just super cringe that I was just like, I've had enough. It's been in the back of my mind that he's just taking jabs every time. And I feel like he's just trying to be comic relief.
Yeah.
Like that's just like he's trying to create a role for himself within the podcast, which is fine, but not at the expense of me. Like I'm not gonna just be the butt of your jokes.
Just take it.
Yeah. Sounds
So-
like it went a little far, but I was telling Ben, like, it's kind of, I can tell it's frustrating, but it makes the show really good a lot of the time.
Great.
So it's like a gift and a curse, right?
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be the Charlie Day of the group. So like that's not finna happen.
It's Charlie work, man.
I'm not doing Charlie work, man. I'm Dennis, goddammit.
I bet you are.
So
So we're taking a breather.
yeah, like I didn't. After the podcast last episode, we talked, and he really wasn't very responsive. He may have also been high out of his mind, so like he really might not have been all
Yeah.
here. But he's like, yeah, it is what it is, And I was like, all right, well,
Well, okay then.
all right,
That's an answer.
that's your answer. So we waited until today to talk. We hadn't talked since, and it didn't. Ben was trying to kind of glue it all back together, and he was just ignoring it. So I was like, all right, well, why don't you just grab a seat tonight? Don't worry about it.
Right.
And he was like, well, if I grab a seat tonight, I'm grabbing a seat for good. I'm like, fair enough. That's your call.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we move on.
We move on.
Life changes. We'll see. We'll see how we all treat each other the next time we hang out.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
I know, right?
It's one of those things, though, like, you just can't, I don't know. If someone, no, even if you don't agree, if someone says you disrespected me, take that in consideration.
You should.
Like, it's some weird macho thing to be like, you're being sensitive and emotional. Like, no, like, first of all, I'm a human. I have emotions. And if you fucking disrespect me, like, if I was emotional, I told him I'd lash out on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd do some form of projecting of emotions. Me just saying, like, I don't like that, stop. That's not really being emotional. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion of it.
Mm-hmm. I can only speak from my perspective, and I could say things like, I don't know what I would do if somebody was ragging on me week after week. I could say I wouldn't react like you did, but I don't know what it felt like to you. You know what I mean?
I don't feel like I overreacted either, though.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was,
At least
like,
not on the show.
yeah, definitely after the show was a little bit more
But not much.
But not much. Not like the Siraj after the show. We had a Siraj after the show. You remember Thunder, don't you?
Yeah.
He was here when he was coming up here, and he was antagonizing Caleb, which is his nephew. And I after the show, I definitely 100% popped off.
Okay.
Like I stood up, yeah. He was like, "You gonna hit me?" And like it was like that. I was angry. With Nate, I was never angry. I was just like, "Man, why are you doing this?"
You're not angry. You were disappointed.
I was disappointed. I was just like it's just so weird because as soon as I felt like it only happens when I press record.
Yep, that's true.
Like the day before, I'm out with my girl and he calls me like, "Hey, let's go to New Orleans. Let's to go see the Lakers play in this season." I'm like, "Yeah, it's perfect. That's awesome." Like he comes over all the time, and plays video games. And then, but as soon as we press record, it feels like a different character. We're not here building characters.
How long have you guys been doing this show?
This show.
All right, I guess podcasts in general, because not this actual show, it was called
Nightcap Podcast.
That was the first podcast I've ever listened to and got into.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't think I was really looking for a podcast to listen to. It wasn't like that kind of thing. What year did you guys start? Do you remember?
God, I have no idea.
Well, Nightcap was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I remember
4 or 5 years ago.
it was right when we weren't active in the local music scene at all, and I think I kind of missed it. And then I saw you and Tess promoting this podcast.
Yep.
So I started.
They started it.
I started tuning in, and I honestly haven't stopped listening. I have 6 podcasts now.
Awesome.
You kind of got me going on them, but
That's tight.
That's awesome.
yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, that's an ultimate compliment. I'm trying to figure out when it started. It was many years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Tef kind of stopped coming by, and then Tech
Me-
filled his spot with just whoever he could.
Yeah.
And I lived with him, so I showed up a few times.
Yeah.
And Nate showed up a lot.
Yeah. And then we took a year or two of not doing podcasts, and then we were like, "Hey, we like to talk shit. Why don't we just redo another podcast?"
And I had enough people say you should do another one.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying yeah.
Yeah.
So here we are. And every now and again, pretty much every episode, right before I say 60-minute shit show, I start to say Nightcap Podcast.
Me too. It happened
Literally
today.
every episode. It happened today.
Yep.
I literally have to catch myself.
Well, Nightcap is very phonetically pleasing.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah.
Well, let's get into the topics.
Sure.
Tess Holidays, Cosmopolitan cover. You guys seen the cover?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
What do you think?
I got, I think big people need representation also, I think. You can't blanket, people of size with health. Some people are just that big, and that's the way it's going to be. And they need to feel good about themselves too.
Absolutely.
You can't just go around life feeling like you're subhuman because everybody on the magazine covers doesn't look like you.
Yeah.
And that's not to mention if you're, a person of color, that makes it even. Then you're even a smaller minority at that point. So yeah, I got a bigger guy in my class, and I encourage my students to draw everybody type possible, and she draws bigger girls, bigger people, and that's good for her, right? Because there's not a lot of art out there of bigger people, so that's kind of my 2 cents.
Yeah. I'm torn.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 on it. And the reason I'm 50-50, I'm a big guy, right? I just don't. I want people to feel comfortable. Body shaming is the worst thing you can do. One of the worst things you can do to someone. But I also work out every day and watch what I eat, and I've been doing that for many years. And what does it promote? I don't want it to promote a lifestyle that kills people early.
I thought of that too. First time you mentioned this, I was like, oh yeah, we don't want to promote unhealthy, lifestyle choices. People that think I can just eat whatever I want, I'm pretty, and then you leave your kids stranded when you die of a heart attack at 55, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I mean, laundry list of things physically wrong. I know someone who has a laundry list of things that's wrong, and it's not enough to be healthy, and they've gone on a journey of anti-body shaming, which I definitely appreciate because I love this person. It's a cousin, but this like it's cool. I'm just like that's why I'm torn. I'm
Yeah.
just completely like torn.
I honestly didn't get that message from it initially. Like when I saw it, I saw a positive thing. I saw this woman that, overcome all odds as a model, and she's on the cover of Cosmo. And when I started hearing the negativity, I was kind of like, what the hell is this all about? Like, do we have to ruin everything? Like,
Yeah, we got to be really careful.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah,
I think the negative that
to err on the side of positive.
Yeah,
right.
The thing that I hate about the negative part is when they say that, oh, that's not sexy. You're like, she looks fine to me, right? Like, it's not a taste thing. It's just promoting unhealthy. Would you have someone? I was watching the H3 podcast, and he made a point. He's like, would you put someone who's anorexic on there or alcoholic on there?
They used to.
They probably have.
Drug addict on there,
Right?
Well, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was that healthy? Like, is that
Yeah, it's just
the
equally
right
unhealthy.
message?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that the right message? So that's why I'm torn. But at the end of the day, I'm going to always lean more on the side of body positivity.
Sure.
And big can be beautiful.
Yeah,
of
course.
So
I'd say there's definitely. I don't know if this is I'm going to word this as carefully as I can. This is not the answer to the anorexic models, like because it both can be very unhealthy, right? But I think what I said ahead of time sort of has me covered. Everybody needs to feel good about themselves, regardless. But just take care of yourself, guys. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I mean?
yeah, there's a model named Iskra, Lawrence Iskra. You guys ever heard of her? Beautiful model, and was started out on the bigger side. More so than than normally accepted, and just eventually just lost weight and still models, but people got on her about that in a kind of ridiculous way.
Yeah. You can kind of count on people getting on you for any reason, regardless.
Yeah. People will literally hate on anything, and
Yeah,
For any reason, from every angle.
But do we really think like this cover promotes the unhealthy lifestyle? Like, because I honestly didn't take that away from it at first at all.
yeah. No, I don't think it does. To someone who's not of that mindset, I don't think it does at all. Like, first thing I thought was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know?
Yeah.
First of all, her
Good for
tattoos are
them.
beautiful. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
But then once you start hearing the backlash, it makes you start to think about, well, I mean,
It's tough, man, because I want to say something, but I don't want to be on the side of the trolls, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I'm not the healthiest guy in the world, but at least I try.
yeah.
And I don't want people who are in poor health to have one more voice that says, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, we should all strive to be really healthy as possible, you know? And there are different demographics all over the country, depending on where you live, that sort of dictates what sort of body you have. It's really strange, but if you go to downtown San Francisco or downtown New York, everybody's kind of fit because they're walking all day, right? Like, I was shocked. I lived in San Francisco for a summer, and everybody was like, they're on their feet all the time. They told me when I moved there, don't bring your car. You're just going to walk everywhere. And everybody's taking care of themselves. So, like, different parts of the country have different, and the planet have different sizes of their population. And I would hate for people who need help to look at this and go, oh, no, I don't. I'm all right. I'm okay. And then in the long run, they're
But
gonna-
isn't that what's going to possibly happen when you glorify that body type?
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's definitely advocate. Like, are we
Yeah.
promoting that to kid? Like, childhood obesity is one of the largest
It's a problem.
problems.
Yeah. And
number one death in I think in the UK is obesity
Yeah.
at this point.
And-
Number one killer.
And is somebody out there saying, well, I don't have to be fit now to be a model. I can just do whatever I want. Is that
I've seen
is that
models
negative? I don't want to be negative.
I've seen models get bigger for their following.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I just saw a song today on Facebook right before I came here from this artist named Lardy B, and this is
I've
Yeah.
seen that actually.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
and I had to say she was spitting. Actually, she actually could rap.
Well, I've seen this big guy. He came down with he came down with some health problems. He used to be a parkour guy, and he was pushing. I don't know. He was between 250, 280 from what I saw in the video, and he was still doing parkour. Kind of a rounder fella, just kicking ass, flips and kick flips and jumping off walls and stuff. So I guess the moral of the story is just be healthy.
Just
You
be
can,
healthy.
You can be big and healthy. I
Yeah.
believe it, absolutely. But just take care of yourself. Body dysmorphia is a son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Like, the people in our gym are fucking nuts.
Yeah,
And
they're all juicing, and they're
Yeah,
all
dude.
just
What gym you guys go to?
Fit City.
Fit City.
And it's not a premium gym. It's not one of those $80 a month gyms
Yeah.
like the Lab or something like that.
Yeah,
But it is just a little bit more than Club Fitness or
Planet Fitness.
So some people in there are pretty hardcore and definitely shaped.
there was a big power gym that closed, so on the South City, so all those guys started going to Fit City.
Sure.
That's-
Yeah, they all
that's-
look like action figures. It's insane.
Yeah,
And that's just another form of body dysmorphia.
it is.
And then we talk about the guys who inject themselves, like the guys in India or whatever. They've they're
Synthol.
totally normal bodies, and then 32-inch biceps.
Yeah, they look
They
like
just-
fucking dysmorphed Michelin Man.
Yeah, and because they just inject themselves just because.
Yeah,
That's scary, man.
And then Tech says that that is sort of what most bodybuilders do to a lesser degree just before competition.
yeah.
They put something behind the muscle to pump themselves up.
Mm-hmm. Synthol,
Yeah,
that's what it's called. Which is it's basically oil that makes your muscles expand.
yeah.
So
So,
scary shit.
yeah, body dysmorphia is everywhere in all different shapes and sizes.
And you can look at a Rich Piana, who is a bodybuilder who abused steroids, open about it, which I love the fact that he was open about it. I mean, that's
Sure.
one of the most refreshing. He's one of the most refreshing voices. He was one of the most refreshing voices in fitness because he's like, hey, just so you know, if they're big like me, they're doing steroids. And that's what it is. He died because of his lungs and heart would because
like three times the size.
with steroids, everything grows.
How old was he when he died?
50s maybe?
Yeah.
40s, 50s?
Late 40s, mid to late 40s, maybe early
He's
50s.
starting to age.
It's all interesting. Also, at the same breath, mind your fucking business, right?
Sure.
You don't know
Stay off the internet.
You're not a doctor. You don't know what's in her body.
Your opinion's not that great,
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing.
as we state our
They're going to
opinion.
sell a lot of Cosmos next month.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When's the last time 3 dudes sat around and talked about the Cosmos?
I have
Good
not
point.
talked about Cosmos
Good point.
ever.
Yeah. In closing, all my friends, big and small, need love and attention. So
I mean,
I applaud Cosmo for doing this.
I think Big is beautiful just the same,
There you go.
flat out.
I only see positivity.
Yeah.
I do see the deeper rooted issue that could eventually come.
Yeah.
But I see this more of a one celebration right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually talking to my fiance about it, and my future brother-in-law. I don't know what to call people since I'm engaged now. It's like an in-between relationship. Him and his wife, they have 3 daughters, and they don't refer to themselves as being fat or anyone being fat in front of their daughters because they don't want them growing up worried about that any kind of image issues like that. They just want them to live and not worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I always felt like growing up, having issues with your body's a huge problem.
Yeah.
A lot of people get bullied, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if this speaks volumes to the youth and gets them more comfortable in their own skin,
Sure.
I'm for that.
Yeah.
Mental health is.
When I was a teenager, I thought I was fat. Right? I thought I was super fat. I was 190. I'd give a digit to be 190 right now. Just give it up. So yeah, it's real. Dysmorphia is real. Yeah, let's move on.
All right.
What's number 3?
We covered 2 already?
Well, 1 was guest intro.
Okay.
Someone didn't read the notes.
Yes, I did.
Actually, in my mind, I was like, wait, did we? Oh, okay. So, Amber, is it Guyger? Is it Guyger?
Guyger, I
I thought it was Guyger.
thought. The famous
The
home invasion police officer.
I saw a post today that said, it was all the steps that she could have possibly taken, and every moment is keen, and she's aware
that.
until she gets to his door, and all of a sudden she doesn't recognize the door. She clocked out on time. She clocked out. She was aware of that. She got to her car. She drove on the right side of the road, like one of those posts, but everything she did. She shut the car off. She was aware of all this, and then as soon as she gets to the door, she or the elevator or the car garage, she just loses all of it, and all of a sudden she's a fucking idiot. What do you guys think about the story?
It's crazy. I'm actually, my mind is consumed with another one I saw.
Yeah.
It's going down in Chicago right now. The McDonald one. Forgot his first name. But I don't want to get off topic. But
It's kind of all on topic. If we're
the one in
issue with
Chicago, the guy was running down the middle of the street, and he apparently had a knife, but he was at safe distance from everybody. And then when he did a little twirl thing, in the middle of the road. It looked like a highway too. It was a big road. They shot him 16 times.
He twirled the knife?
No, he twirled himself. He did like a pirouette. And that's when they.
Was it a black guy?
Yeah, of course. And the words coming out about the jury they've picked, and it's very white. And one of them is a cop in training.
For the Chicago one?
For the Chicago
Jesus.
case. All right, so back
Yeah,
to this.
I saw this in the
freak.
Discord in between attacks on the group Discord.
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows the story, so I'm not going to recap the story. But there was an update tonight. They released the findings from his search department because for whatever reason they got a warrant to search his apartment and they unearthed weed. So now all the publications are posting that he had weed in the house, and that's not really significant, but they're doing that, basically stacking a case against him.
Did you say they got the warrant after the fact this all happened?
Yeah, I mean, of course, because why else would they have why else would they look? So
I saw some publications said it was like 10 grams or something.
it was a small amount.
But it comes out of nowhere at the end of the article. It's like, oh yeah, and he had 10 grams of weed. It's like they just threw it in there. For no reason.
The way I saw it was, I saw multiple articles like he had weed. They're trying to villainize him.
Is it Dallas or Houston?
Dallas.
Where do they stand with weed at this point?
I think Texas is still illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if he had crack and meth and fucking guns, unregistered guns, what does that fucking matter?
Yeah.
No.
I wonder if she smelt it and tried to do like a not a citizen's arrest.
You really wonder that?
I don't.
You fucking wonder that? No. Why would you wonder that? Like she
Because
literally
that
said,
sounds like something a cop would do.
She's literally said I went in the wrong apartment. I thought I saw a black figure.
Yeah. Okay. So
Why would you to me?
Yeah.
That doubt is what they want. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not justifying what she did as okay. I'm trying to figure out why the hell she's going in the wrong door.
Because she's
right?
That's what gets me.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused.
Like what?
Wrong floor,
was
wrong
she
door.
On drugs or drunk or something? Like
that's the first thing I thought. Yeah, she had to be drunk.
All right, so all the houses in my neighborhood look a lot alike, and Ubers will drop me off a few houses down on accident sometimes, and I'll be drunk, and if I step in a yard, I know I'm not in my yard.
Yeah. Well, you weren't drunk enough.
She walked all the way up to this man's door.
It was an apartment complex or something.
How'd she get in?
We don't know. See, there's multiple stories.
Yeah.
Neighbors say that she was banging on the door saying, "Let me in."
Saying, "Let me in."
How
does that make sense?
Yeah, and I actually found the Facebook page of one of her neighbors, and at the time, it's probably gone viral by now. By the time it really wasn't super viral, and she was like, "Yeah, I heard her scream, let me in." They are straight up lying.
I'm trying to
about it, and the door automatically closes shut. And she showed it. She showed a video of her door, and she opened the door, and it goes just like this. It's an automatically shut door.
Like you ever been in the Gentry downtown? They're all on those super hydraulics, and the doors cannot stay open. Right? Mm-hmm. So her story of it being propped open is impossible. Yeah. And I'm trying to imagine a scenario in which somebody would say, "Let me in." That's weird. Give me a scenario in which that makes sense. One, you know the person, and you think they're holding the door and not letting you in. If I'm coming to your house and I feel you hold it up, hey, let me in. That's a scenario. What else?
I'm gonna honestly think she got fucked up.
Yeah.
On her shift. Because cops do that.
Sure.
And she got fucking drunk.
Did you see the picture of her family? And was it her brother or husband's doing the white power sign?
Yeah, this is all bad.
What is it, a P and a 3 or something like that? Something like that.
W.
Or W. I mean, yeah, but
white power.
Yeah, a 3 with your hand.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I saw it. It's pretty cringe.
Yeah.
For sure. It was definitely and someone had a Confederate shirt on. So when I see the Confederate flag, I'm just I'm done with this.
It's weird. Maybe
Yeah. No,
it's messy, man. It's sad. It's very, very sad.
It's so crazy that she can be that confused, park on the wrong level, which I don't think is true. I'm not sure if it's true.
I don't.
But you walk, you press the elevator,
relevant.
you press the elevator to the wrong button, to the wrong, so many inconsistencies with the story.
Yeah.
You park on the wrong floor. That's one thing. You get on the elevator, you press the wrong button too, and then you go to the door, and you don't notice the red doormat.
Yep. And then your key doesn't work.
And your key doesn't work, and you're still.
You're banging on the door saying, "Let me in."
Yeah.
That's so weird, man.
I did it one time where I didn't. I was going to this place I was doing freelance graphics for, and I would go pretty much Monday through Friday for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And he was on the 5th floor, and I would buzz in on the intercom. He would come to the elevator and press the floor to come to the elevator so to come up, but he'd give me enough time to get on the elevator on the 1st floor because it's one of those elevator entry things. I don't know what happened, but I ended up going to the wrong floor because I didn't notice that someone else had pressed 4. So
You just get out.
I got out and I walked out and I went to open the door and it was closed. I immediately looked at the number, 408. It wasn't the right apartment.
It's not 508.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, thank God it didn't open and somewhere wasn't there.
Right.
I got back on it. I texted him and said, do the elevator again. To do all those things, try the door and still get it wrong and still not realize, you are obviously out of your mind.
So
you're something else. You're under influence.
Which story are we supposed to believe? 1, she got in and he was standing across the room and she shot him. Or 2, he opened the door and she shot him right there on the door.
I just recently read that there's so many articles out there right now, but like the evidence shows that she shot him from the front door and like down a hallway. So she had they think she walked in and just shot him.
What's crazy is to be that unaware of that whole time, and then when you think there's a shadowy figure, which I don't believe that it was a shadowy figure. I don't believe it was pitch. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like a big coincidence. Like, I just shot at a figure.
Yeah, why would you do that? I guess if you think it's in your house.
But then I heard that
why was your impulse murder?
Oh, the affidavit said that she gave commands that he didn't respond to. He didn't listen to.
Why would he need to respond? He's in his house, not doing anything.
This is one of those moments where the cop, the Muslim cop in Minnesota who killed a woman, is one of those things that they just stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
But every time I thought about it, I looked into it to see what happened. He's in prison, in jail, convicted of murder. It's one of those things that I think they're gonna draw it out as long as possible till we're on to the next thing. The next celebrity dies or something, and then we just won't know what happened in that story.
Yes and no. I know Darren Wilson was the fire starter to a lot of this, a lot of the attention that everybody's been getting lately. So when that came around, was it 6 months later or whatever, it still made, still put people on the streets. And that's not the only one that's happened. So somebody's out there is constantly paying attention, and people still get in the streets when verdicts come down.
So in our lifetime, do you guys remember you might not because you're a little bit younger than us, but you should remember the first time that this really happened in our lifetime.
Yeah, LA riots.
LA riots. Yeah. Reginald Denny. Is that correct?
I technically actually don't remember the moment in my life. Watching TV or whatever.
I do.
I do not.
Are you talking about 92?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 3 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was 12, so
no,
I don't know what I was doing.
I was quite aware of that time. No, I don't know who Reginald Denny is. What is the guy's name?
Yeah, isn't that right?
Rodney King.
Rodney King. Why did I fuck that up that bad?
I was 3 and I remember.
Yeah. Well, fuck me, right?
Yeah. No, honestly,
Reginald Denny might be one of the cops.
Yeah, Reginald Denny is one of the cops.
Oh, there you go.
Main reason I remember is because of the Sublime song, April 26, 1992. It tells the story of the riots. It's pretty awesome.
Wow. I think I was even in California in 92. I think I was in the Bay Area. So I don't know why I don't remember it. But I also have a very bad memory.
Do you?
Yeah, real bad.
I had a bad memory
Very
too.
bad.
I felt bad because I teach music production at a school, and it's been 2-3 weeks. About 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And yesterday I was like, what's your name? And they looked so sad. I was
dude.
I was like, listen, man, I'm bad with names.
I told my students it's going to take me a half year to remember your name.
The only kids I remember are the kids from last year, the last semester. I just don't remember names.
Until they start handing in assignments and you see their names.
I did a pop-up quiz just so I can get better at it.
Nice. Yep. Smart.
Terrible.
But no, I'm thinking she's going to get charged as a civilian.
She needs to. She's off the clock. She needs to be charged.
That's going to make a huge difference.
Sure.
They're not going to give her murder. We know that.
Well, no, she's still part of the fraternity. She's going
to get manslaughter.
Well, apparently in the state of Texas, it's all about being reasonable, and apparently, being reasonable as a police officer, it's a way broader term than just being a normal civilian.
Sure.
So, I think that's going to be the huge game changer.
I hope you're right. I hope that has an effect. It's crazy.
All right. All right. Moving on.
Yeah. Next.
Henry Cavill. How do you say his name?
Yeah.
He's no longer Superman.
Is he though?
That's what everyone's reporting.
Right, but he posted on Instagram today of him holding he had a Krypton. He had a shirt that said like Krypton lifting team, right? Mm-hmm. And then he held up a Superman figure.
I saw that
And he just stared into the camera. So what is that?
The studio said that he's not out.
Well, there you go.
So what's everyone talking about then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Next topic.
The developing Supergirl. I think they're developing Supergirl instead. So they were going to film Man of Steel 2, and they're just going to postpone it. Because I think he's still in contract for one more movie.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So they're trying to jump the gun and say he's out after his contract anyway?
I don't know.
I don't feel like we know enough to talk
The
about
problem
this.
is the problem is the talks with Batman and Ben Affleck being out, plus this.
It's generating.
Yeah, it's basically like we're just over there fumbling and, like basically we're trying to reset a roster that we just reset.
It's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, but I could see where Affleck's coming from. I could see why he'd want to get out.
Why?
Because he's a man of the people, and when opinions come down hard, it hits him hard. I've seen him on a talk show.
Really? You get him upset?
Yeah, people are like reading out comments and hate comments.
Is he being emotional and sensitive?
Yeah, and review scores, and you just see him just like.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I can't do this. It's a radio show, but his face drops, his arms drop. He just stops talking, and he goes into like this super depression. Like this kid takes. I mean, he's a director now. He takes his shit
passionate.
seriously. Yeah,
he's passionate, and the thing is, he did a great job too.
He did.
Do you watch comic book movies?
I saw the last Superman with him in it, and I liked him as Superman.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have a problem with him as Clark.
It wasn't there.
I think he was. I can't argue that he wasn't there. I can't argue that he wasn't there.
Well, I don't know if there's enough Clark there for me to really.
Is there writing good enough for him to be there though? Is Clark gonna be big enough for him to be there? Was Christopher Reeves there as Clark Kent? Or he was a nerd. He played a nerd, right?
He did it great. He slouched his shoulders. He was a dork. He was fumbling. He dropped things. Kim and I just watched 1 and 2 last week.
Henry Cavill is too solid to, and maybe not good enough of an actor to pull a nerd off.
Maybe not. Christopher Reeves, looking back, was actually pretty in shape.
Yeah, he was, but he
was like 6'3". He's a big guy. He was tall.
Yeah.
So he had to slouch to make himself look kind of,
he had
wormy.
Mannerisms, and he'd bump into things, and you don't get that. Maybe Henry's is doing the script they gave him.
Brandon Routh did a much goofier Clark.
Like, oh, gee.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to see Urkel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just be? First of all, if you're gonna trick everyone, why don't you just be a normal dude?
Here's the problem.
We didn't get a lot of Clark anyway.
Henry Cavill's too fucking handsome.
He's so
He's
handsome.
an epic Superman. He's
Yeah.
epic.
But he's visually the best Superman I've seen.
Yeah, he's very comic book esque.
He is.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what it is.
He was good. Now, I mean, like I said, there wasn't really enough Clark to judge it. It was
Yeah.
like the lesser part of the whole franchise.
Yeah, I mean, you never saw him at the Daily Planet for real.
Not for real, no.
Like maybe a couple
For a
seconds.
moment.
Like, and he's on his investigative. I'm Superman. I'm investigating this shit.
Yeah.
And so, so you didn't really get a chance to see him.
No, they didn't really go the day in the life of
Which is fine
struggling
too.
between because we've seen that.
We don't need to see it.
Right, we only see it again.
I didn't need to see half of the origins that they show. I never need to see anymore.
Stupid. Not anymore. Unless it's. I mean, they should use their best judgment. If it's a character we don't know anymore, like or like Cyborg, like
that was awesome.
A lot of old people don't know Cyborg, so yeah, show it.
Yeah,
and even Flash is a little lesser known. Wonder Woman, sure, right? But if it's like, you could name the 5 top superheroes in the world. Who would they be? You got Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, obviously. Who else? What else you got? Those are the big 3. I probably have the big 3 right there.
Batman, Spider-Man, Superman.
Right. What else?
Oh, geez, this is tough.
It's gonna get weird.
Wolverine.
Yeah, you have to talk about Wolverine.
I was literally thinking
he's got his own movies.
Up until this point, he's the most successful comic book movie.
Yeah.
Like Wolverine, like that character,
And-
because he survived every reiteration of X-Men.
He at least has to be mentioned.
At this point, Deadpool, 2018. I'm gonna say Deadpool. It's literally one of the most
now,
grossing.
but like I'm talking all time, and I'm saying I'm gonna replace. I'm not gonna say Deadpool because I'm talking all time.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Hulk. Everybody knows how Hulk.
I'm just gonna say X-Men.
Because Hulk had that show in the '60s, right?
Well, I mean Hulk, yeah.
And X-Men's too vague.
But it's been there
big.
forever.
Yeah.
Forever. One of the biggest comic book series in 1990s, biggest animated series in 1990s.
Yeah. But they can keep rewriting the history of it, and nobody cares, right? You went X1, and he did Days of Future Past, and then you did.
But they're rewriting.
keep
They rewrite
changing-
everyone.
I know.
Was
So-
Captain
but then-
was Captain America big at all? Like way
No,
back when?
not
That's
no.
recent. That's
Yeah, he
recent.
wasn't because I remember they had a
Yeah.
Captain America movies in the late '80s.
Yeah.
Didn't nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like he wasn't. He's never been. Cap's never been that guy. Like he's been in the comic books. He
is
is in
now.
the MCU.
He's
like
hot
in the,
now, yeah.
Yep.
He's that guy, and I think it's a lot to do with Chris Evans.
Yep.
But as a comic book reader, you didn't buy Captain America.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
Nope. I never cared. Nope.
Give a fuck. I could give a
Nope.
fuck less.
I started caring at Civil War, and the book event like 5 years ago, and then since, and I bought the new one written by Ta-Nehisi Coates, of course. It's
He's
amazing.
probably more popular in the era that he was created for what he was created for.
Shit. Yeah, we should talk about fucking Comicsgate. So, Gamergate and all that shit. There's a Comicsgate now, and they're fighting diversity. So every time a character's rewritten as POC or another gender, people are just fucking flipping their lid. And all these stories are about, like, activism and Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And
Because it's current.
yeah, and they're like, hello, Captain America was invented to fight Nazis. Like,
Yeah.
comics are made to be current events.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the whole point,
Yeah.
right? There's a shot of a comic where Superman is blocking protesters with a chain from the cops. Like the cops were marching on him in like a riot gear, and Superman was standing between the cops and the
Yeah.
people, like defending them.
Speaking of
Like that's what comics do. Like, what do you expect writers to talk about? Nothing.
Speaking of Comic-Gate, can you imagine how white people are going to die if they really do Michael B. Jordan as Superman, which is the rumor?
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Like, they're
I think it'd be cool.
It's gonna be great.
Are they
And
gonna
it's
go
not-
Steel
No,
route?
no,
Or
no,
they
no.
just
no. If
Clark
they,
Kent?
If they don't do Steel Ray, just do Clark Kent. Just fuck everyone up. Just fuck everyone up, and then make Lois Lane a dude. Like just make him
Lewis-
gay.
Lewis Lane.
Lewis Lane. Motherfuckers would die.
Yes, they would.
Trump supporters would fucking explode.
Yes, they would. And that, you know what? Maybe that's what we need to make happen, right? Just to make them all explode and get them off the planet.
Yeah, that would be fucking hilarious.
All right, here's one last thing about comics before you might want to move on. They keep hiring models to play dorks. Like, Tom Holland's pretty attractive. He's not a model, but he's quasi-attractive. But he plays a really good kid. He's a good Peter Parker, right? But Andrew Garfield is a Calvin Klein model.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe people are going to mistreat him in high school?
Tobey Maguire was way more believable
Yeah.
in that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Even though he's like 35, but still. And then same with Henry Cavill. We're supposed to believe Henry Cavill's a dork in the office wearing glasses. You know, they're keep hiring these gorgeous people.
But Christopher Reeves was gorgeous. Come on. Before the horse, he was fine.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's been long enough.
He's gone out. He died.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
died like 10 years ago. But
Yeah. So they've always done that, dude.
yeah, I guess he was pretty attractive. Yeah. All right.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So this is something that you don't know about. Did you listen to Eminem's Kamikaze?
Yeah, a few times.
I've listened to it a lot more than I've listened to a lot of projects lately.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it?
It kind of hit me over the face. Like honestly, like I was in San Diego at a wedding when it dropped, and like my brother texted me and like let me know about it, and I was in the airplane, like on my way down there, so I couldn't really like listen to it fully until like the flight back because I was so busy in San Diego. But I feel like rap's competitive again. It's got a little more edge to it right now. He kind of first of all, people were talking crazy on Eminem the last 2 years for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I guess
Like he's not a goat.
His last album wasn't great. I think I might have listened to it once and never went back to it.
Yeah. There's some songs in there that I love though.
Yeah. He does that.
Yeah.
I mean, people say the same thing about Relapse, but there's songs on Relapse. I really like.
There's a song Spaceship. Is that on Relapse?
That's on Recovery.
Recovery. Okay.
That was a great song.
That's one of the best songs. One of the best rap songs I've heard in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like one of the best songs.
But I felt like Eminem's angry again, and he makes like his best music when he's mad.
Yeah.
So I felt that, and I love the no promo releasing an album in this climate of music that we're in.
It's fun.
I feel like it's the most effective promotion.
Yeah.
Like think
No
back,
promotion?
Yeah.
like when we were all putting out projects, we would promote them months in advance.
Yeah.
The only person that would just in our scene that would release him was Rockwell.
Yeah.
He'd release him out of nowhere.
Because I don't think he knew when he was going to release them. He was just like, fuck it.
It's done.
Yeah.
But like there, as far as famous artists like that didn't promote albums, it was Dr. Dre.
Beyonce did it.
Dr. Dre did it way back when. It was Jay Electronica was known for it.
He dropped an album?
No, just
Songs.
All
yeah,
all his
just
tracks
dropping
and
projects.
EPs
He's only done songs.
Yep.
But he like he was known for like no promo. Like,
Yeah. With the
but
skill, right?
Who else would do it? Like
No, nobody.
known for no
that's
material.
that's
too.
new.
Yeah, right. I don't want to talk about that.
What do you think about his album?
I love it.
I'm a fan.
I love it. It's literally, and I'm not the guy that's going to be like, you got to rap like Slim Shady LP EP.
Nah,
Marshall
I hate it
Mathers
when
EP
I hate it when
or
artists. I hate when people
Encore.
let artists refuse to evolve.
Right. See, with
You don't
hip
have
hop,
to. You don't have to like their evolution, but you should at least give them permission to evolve.
they do it in rock.
Right.
And they do in every other genre of music except for hip hop. There's something about hip hop that as soon as you hit a certain age, you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Now, just so you know, Jay-Z he can write the best verse of his life today because he has 20 years of experience. Eminem raps better now than he did when he first came out.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like, he's rhyming sentences together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wasn't rhyming sentences together back in the day.
No.
Like, no way. No one was. Like,
His first two albums were great, but they're pretty simple.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're just it was shock. It was shock value
It
lyrics.
was. He was a shock. Yeah. He was definitely. Yep.
So now he's doing shock value with his unimitatable rhyme schemes. And that's the problem. I think that's the problem with music. I have this theory in my head about why so much shit lyrics are popular, shit rappers are popular, right? It's because, like, we had a different mindset where we would see a Lupe Fiasco and we'd be like, man, I don't know anyone who could do that. That's just tight, right? We would almost, no one would rap like Lupe Fiasco because they just couldn't.
Yeah.
But you'd want to do something as impressive. You'd want to push yourselves to be as good, to be considered, amongst the greats. Mm-hmm. But as the generation gets more microwave, they want less and less intimidation when it comes to their music.
Sure.
They want to attach themselves to something that they think they could do as well. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So
So it's inspiration versus just recreating the same thing over and over.
yeah, like they like Black Boy JB's tight because they relate to him because they feel like I could do that. I could be that. So it's easier.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's easier to like that.
People call Migos like one of the best rap groups of all time right now.
Yeah.
And like, do you really feel like they're doing anything new? I'm not trying to like hate on them, but I mean, they get a lot of credit for that flow that they're using.
Mm-hmm. The
3-6 Mafia used that flow, over 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy because I don't want to be the older guy that's hating, right? Like, I enjoy Lil Pump. Like, you're such a fucking hoe. I love it. That's my shit. Like,
I haven't gotten into Lil Pump yet.
I like Lil Pump.
I'm open to it.
I like Gucci Gang.
I would not guess that you would like that.
Well, the reason why is because like, I'm more into EDM now, and I heard a
Yeah.
Gucci Gang EDM remix that was so fucking hard. It made me like the Gucci Gang, the song. So then, like, I started listening to Lil Pump a little bit more. It's not bad, and this song is fucking this song with Kanye West is fucking hard.
I think there's a science behind listenability, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and that affects Eminem, even though he's probably sold more than most anybody ever. But it happens in metal and rock as well. There's bands that are huge and they've escalated. They can fill arenas and stuff like that, but they'll never be played on the radio because they're just their songs are too long and they're into like their songs are too complicated. But they're not. You have to concentrate when you listen to them. You can't just have them on in the background. And you can't necessarily sing to them either. It's these guys that used to sing opera, and they write these super complicated melodies that all crisscross each other, and it's not always 4/4. Sometimes the timing signatures are off. They're playing like 7/3 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's metal. And you're like, you can't even bounce your head to it. You're just like, what's happening? This is fascinating. And if you know your music and you know your music theory, you're like, this is genius. But if you don't, you're like, right?
Yeah.
So like, look at Eminem. He uses a beat, and is he still using Dre?
No.
I don't think Dre's on the new album.
No,
at all.
I watched the Sway interviews, and he was like, Dre gave me input.
Yeah.
He made me scrap a song because he said it was too far.
I heard he went too far, and they like had to.
Yeah.
What's too far?
What's
for
too
that?
far? That's what
Jesus.
Sway was laughing like. What's too far? Like
No
I
shit.
got it. I want to hear that
I
song.
couldn't imagine that.
They should release that song after you sign something that says you can't talk about it or something like that. Anyway, so I think there's a science behind listenability, and that's why Migos and Lil Pump and all that stuff are so big right now because everybody can sing along. Sounds good in the car. It's like a club beat, It's a banger, Everybody.
It's just weird because like, what would be the outliers in the better age of music is now at the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, there was people like the Pumps and the Yachties who really couldn't rhyme and did like had one song that everyone liked, but that was pretty much it, and we kind of knew they were shit. But now like it's like reversed. It's really weird how reversed it is.
It wasn't that long ago where like rappers were coming out and they were like openly bad at rapping, and it was like really hard for like real rap fans to like tolerate. I remember Lil B like when he came out.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect example.
Yeah,
Like,
he might be the king of all this.
I'm not gonna lie.
You always gotta find the originator.
I became a fan of him after like it took like a few years, but like when I first heard it, I was like, "There's no way people are listening to this." But like his music like wasn't about his music. Like I kind of fell down the rabbit hole with Lil B. I don't know how, but he did everything in one take. Like all of his songs were in one take. All of his video, like if you watch his music videos, his lips are not synced up with the words at all. He just did one take and he would send it out. And he had like,
They say James Blake does that too.
Yeah, which I don't believe.
but I mean, his message was all like positivity.
I think I've still to this day, I've never heard a Lil B song.
Really?
Except for Hoes on My Dick because I look like Jesus, because that's genius.
You know who was a huge closet Lil B fan that would never like be public about it was Dill Stacks.
Yes.
That's how I fell in the rabbit hole.
I think I like Lil B as a person.
Yeah.
And I felt bad when he got jumped last year.
Yeah, that was with A Boogie
Yeah. Ace Boogie? Was it Ace? Or A Boogie with the hoodie.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. But
I felt like he's such a lovable person. And
he helped a lot of producers pop. Like
Did he?
Clams Casino, that he came up with Lil B. I mean, that's the first one off the top of my head, but like he would just work with anyone, so everyone got a shot with him. And
does he follow you on Twitter?
yeah,
Yeah, he follows everyone on Twitter.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what page you go to. Like if it's a normal human being, it's gonna be like Lil B follows. Like he follows millions of people.
But I feel like he was the first one that like was kind of like openly not
good at rap.
rapper and was successful and started like a whole movement, and I think it encouraged a lot of different stuff we're seeing now.
Yeah, Soulja Boy was ahead of his time. He'd be great in this era.
But as far as the Eminem album, like what do you think about him like coming back and dissing all these people? Like
He has a right to though, because like the Joe Budden thing.
I love that, by the way, that this is going on right now.
Like I watched that episode when it came out because when Joe Budden was on Everyday Struggle, I watched Everyday Struggle every day.
He's proven that he made that show.
Yeah, he made that show.
As soon as he left, they had that other guy. I don't even know who that was.
They had Star from Star and Buck Wild.
Terrible.
I hated him, and he got fired because he made really ignorant comments in the Deska before he was on that show, like sexual comments.
No.
I like the new guy on there though, which I forget his name, which is terrible. But he's Wayno. He's really good. Like he's the best replacement they could get for Joe Budden.
Really?
The only problem is I can't stand academics. Like he's a I don't know. Like something about him makes me like not like him. Like I want to punch his face. Like one of those type of guys.
He comes off thirsty. Is that the word?
Like, yeah.
He got so excited when like Drake like referenced him, didn't say his name. He would like say stuff like, "I don't have to do this. Drake just referenced me in a song." It's
like he's basically the dude who's I commend him for getting to the spot that he is, but he's a lame. Like,
this is a lot of people off.
He's literally like very very lamey.
Did you watch Joe's new show, State of the Culture?
I watched it. Only reason I watched it because of Remy Ma.
She needs to stay on the show.
I thought about that when I watched it. I watched it yesterday, and I'm sorry we're talking about shit that Ben has no idea about.
That's cool.
But this is great.
Yeah.
When I watched it, I thought to myself, now if she's on the show all the time, I'm there.
I've never seen someone like, because I listen to Joe Budden's podcast all the time, and I watched Everyday Struggle, and I've been following Joe for a while, and
Yeah.
I've never seen someone like say something to Joe and him not know how to respond. Like when she called him out for not responding to Eminem.
Yeah.
And like I don't remember exactly what she said.
Yeah, she called him a pussy.
She got her issue.
She
off.
called him a pussy.
And
Like
he was just like, I want to talk about MGK. She's like, no one gives a fuck about MGK. We don't
Yeah.
care what that dude had to say. Like, we want to know what you guys say. And he like kept trying to dodge the question. I was like, this is great.
Yeah. She needs that dynamic. But if they rotate that chair and they're all as interesting as that, it is going to be a good show.
Yeah.
Because I like the guy too, even though I forgot his name. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting show. I'm glad when I saw Joe Budden's diss Eminem's revival, I knew that this was gonna happen. I knew like yeah, you've just killed. Like if Slaughterhouse isn't dead, they're dead now. Like you definitely murdered Slaughterhouse, and sure enough,
I don't really know what to think about it. Like after watching the interview with Sway, M was like, you don't owe me anything. Like he didn't play that card at all.
Yeah.
But he was like, traveling the country trying to push use his platform to push them. And then you get on your show and say that he made the worst song of all time. Like
of all time. And the thing is, even within all that, Eminem, this is Eminem's interview. Like this is not a Sway he doesn't do a Shade 45 interview because he is Shade 45.
Right.
So this is on Eminem's channel. But even after all of that, he was still like, and I still believe that Slaughterhouse is the best group in the world. Like he was still very positive about Slaughterhouse.
He seemed real bummed out that their album didn't do it they planned.
So they didn't have that camaraderie that they should have had, which I think which is Joe's problem. Yeah. Because he expected more, from Eminem, but the respect is there musically, and Joe Budden's be really smart not to ever respond. I mean, he's just smart not to respond. Yeah. And I don't believe him when I didn't like it. He said like, I rap better than you in the last decade. I was like, yeah, your mood music wasn't that good. Like,
okay.
It's all right. Yeah. You're not like, I've never been a Joe Buttons fan, even with Pump It Up and all that shit.
Really?
And, Slaughterhouse, cool, but I was there for Royce. Because Royce to me is the second best rapper of all time. Of alive all time.
I got into Joe like probably I want to say mid 2000s. Like he had like a really unique internet grind that we hadn't seen yet, and I think that's why I latched onto it. And he had a lot of Joe's been like really open about like a lot
the
of
drug
things
addiction.
In his life. Yeah, and I thought that was really interesting. So
I mean, he's from Jersey, so I gave him respect. You know what I'm saying? But I just never been a super fan of his music enough to think that he'd be rapping better than Eminem ever.
No.
So, well, which is to me why he won't respond.
Yeah.
All right, so we're nearing the end.
Are we?
Yeah. Do you got any science facts?
Yeah, I found a bunch.
Give us one.
Oh, just one? I gotta pick one.
The most interesting one.
All right. Well, this one's all right. One interesting one and one really dumb one. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So there's a constellation. There's a star called Betelgeuse. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, it's set to explode. Right, but in a galactic time frame, that could take 1 million years, and it could still be, soon or whatever. It's 430 light years away, which isn't that far, considering most things are like tens and hundreds of thousands of light years. It's one of the biggest stars in our sky, and luminosity is 10,000 times greater than that of the sun. Anyway, it's about to explode, and if it does, we would see it here. If exploded, transitioning from the red supergiant stage to supernova, it would light our sky continuously for 2 months. The explosion. Isn't that cool?
That'd be fucking awesome.
Wouldn't that be weird?
We're not gonna see it, but that'd be awesome.
It'd be really weird to see anything constant in our sky, in the celestial sky happen, because the timeline, like I said, is so long that things are gonna happen outside of our narrow ass little window. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it could happen any moment now. Isn't that interesting? Finally, octopuses have 3 hearts and 9 brains and blue blood.
That's awesome.
They have one big brain, and they have one little, like, what do they call it? An ancillary brain for each arm.
Where do you find this stuff?
I just search for science facts.
You like?
Yeah, it's just, they want this. I wanted to put this in the podcast just to brainy things up for some stupid ass reason.
We just talked about Lil Yachty, so we might as well.
Right.
2 of the hearts work exclusively to move blood beyond the animal's gills, while the third keeps circulating, flowing for the organs. When the octopus swims, the heart stops beating, which explains why these creatures prefer to crawl rather than swim. It exhausts them. An octopus also has 9 brains. Well, sort of. There's 1 main brain where all the analysis and decision-making takes place, and 8 ancillary brains, 1 at the base of each arm that functions as preprocessors for all the information obtained by that arm. So yeah, there you go. 2/3 of an octopus's neurons reside in its arms. And then our blood's red because it's got iron-based hemoglobin, and theirs does not. So their blood is blue.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. So it's really cool to know they have a brain for each arm. That explains why they're so goddamn smart. Like apparently they recognize people and follow you, and they're like social creatures.
See, with me, I put octopus in the same vein as spiders.
Really?
Yeah.
You dock them that
centipedes. If you have too many legs, too many extensions, appendages, I get uncomfortable. Like if you had 4 arms, I ain't fucking with you. Like it bothers me. Like spiders bother me because there's so many legs.
So I think of any creature on the planet that you could mistake as an alien, I think an octopus would be it.
I think of any
they're
creature
so goddamn smart.
I said this last time. Any creature that you can mistake on this planet for an alien is humans.
Sure.
We're the only anomaly.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing.
Intellectual.
Killer whales are actually dolphins.
What?
They're not whales.
Why do they call them whales then, my nigga?
It's just a name. Killer whales. They're orcas, technically.
Well, yeah.
And they have the scientific names even different from that. But they're part of the dolphin family. Look at their mouths. Look at a whale's mouth, like a blue whale. It's got the big brush teeth, right? Killer whale doesn't have that. And another thing is they've got this particular layer of fat all over their body, which is exclusive to the dolphin family. So, if you needed proof, but killer whales are actually giant dolphins.
There you go.
Isn't that cool?
It's all right.
That's cool.
It's pretty neat. The murderous ass dolphins. Have you seen them shit play baseball with seals? Have you seen a killer whale play baseball with a seal?
No, that sounds amazing. Can I YouTube?
They will flip them out of the water with their tail, hundreds of feet.
I had
to
a
each
question
other.
for Ben. I watched that Joe Rogan interview with Elon Musk. Have you seen it?
I didn't.
I've seen it. I've seen most of it.
I should. I know I should.
He goes into artificial intelligence in like a really creepy way. I wanted to hear your take on it.
I kind of already know. He says it's like one of the biggest threats to mankind. Right?
He says it needs to be regulated immediately. Yeah. I didn't see that part of the podcast because I was in and out of it.
He talked about it like so calm and sure. It was weird and eerie.
He's absolutely positive that it's one of the biggest threats to humanity, and we need to do something about it as soon as possible. Right?
Yeah. Well, he compared it, because he's been like speaking out on it for a while. No one's listening to him.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He's super.
And he he related it to the issue with seatbelts. Like, the car industry fought the need to wear seatbelts for so long, and it took like 10 years of all these deaths for them to be like, okay, maybe we should be doing this. And he's like, if we wait 10 years with this issue, it's going to be way too late.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, whoa.
Yeah. No, he's definitely painting a Terminator picture with the AI.
Well, I mean, sci-fi has.
But he said he's seen shit. Like, there was
no doubt.
I hate to interrupt you, but the robots who they created, I forgot what country, but they created their own language so they could speak to each other and the humans wouldn't understand. Like, there was a series of artificial intelligence robots that literally created a language so they can communicate outside of the humans.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that's a real thing. That happened.
I think if AI ever does go rampant, it's going to happen so fast, because you know how fast a computer processes over a human. Everything's going to fold so quickly, we will never be able to keep up.
As long as we can call it Ultron, then I'd be happy.
There was at one point he was like, make sure you're not kicking robots. And Joe was like, what do you mean? He's like, their memories are like forever.
Yeah. But if anything like this on a hard drive, we have a year and a half before they crash.
Well, maybe, unless they keep replicating and, shit like that.
Yeah, in the cloud.
Yeah.
But, I feel like...
I'm sure he has seen some shit.
He's seen some shit.
Like, imagine AI gets in charge of some... what's that DNA reprogramming machine called, the CRISPR? Have you heard of this?
Mm-mm.
You can, like, rewrite...
Microwave?
You can rewrite a person's DNA. I think they're cloning lesser species with it. It's called a CRISPR with no E. It's just CRISPR. But, yeah, it's a DNA programming machine. And if AI gets in, and they're talking about putting AI in these things to fix cures and viruses and stuff like that. Like,
wow,
you could have a AI redesignate our DNA and wipe us off the planet with just a simple virus, and we probably never know why it happened. Right?
That would suck.
He's got reason to. I'm sure sci-fi has consumed his brain, but he did just launch a car into space, so maybe we should believe him. Oh, how do you guys feel about him lighting up fucking on the podcast like that?
I wasn't bothered by it, but apparently his stock
But the stock goes up and down every single time he says it.
It dropped?
It dropped 9% the day after he like did the interview or the podcast aired.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think Tesla's going anywhere because he smoked weed with Joe Rogan on his show. It's just not.
I think a lot of people point that. Have you watched that, by the way?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Okay. Netflix special called Extinction.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Is AI?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh shit.
That's okay.
Spoiler alert.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that makes me want to watch it more.
It's something like that. Yeah, you should check it out. It's amazing.
People are saying that Elon lighting up on a podcast is endemic to our problems, where people are in prison
Oh, I think the
for marijuana.
What I saw,
a billionaire can light up on air with no
but
penalty.
If you work for Tesla, you can't. If you fail a drug test, you're fired.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Right?
That's a problem.
So come on.
I get that.
Maybe that's probably why his stock dropped.
Yeah, but I think he wants to be. He's had a lot of missteps with the press, especially with the
Twitter.
the Thailand cave guy that he keeps calling a pedophile. So I think he's trying to be like, oh, if I smoke weed with Joe Rogan, I'm relatable. Like I'm cool. Like he's trying to be cool.
I don't even know him like I don't even know like his, I guess his reputation like that. I just listen to the podcast.
Yeah, and
that's all I know.
I'm a big Elon Musk fan. Like
Really?
he's Tony Stark of our time.
Basically.
I was really like taken back by how he responded to like some of the questions. Like, you know, how Joe like just asked random questions. Like, have you ever thought about a flying car? He's like, oh, we can't do that. It's too loud. It's like done it. Like,
that was a project for a while for a lot of people.
Interesting. Yeah, it would be loud as fuck, right? Have you heard of hovercraft before? It's ear piercing.
Is it?
And that's the only technology we have is fans.
I never
or
thought
drones.
Of that.
Think of a drone. Think of a giant drone that could lift you and your family. That would be loud as fuck.
Loud as fuck.
That's
Airplanes are loud. Like so.
Right. Jet engines, turbines
engines.
are loud.
Yeah.
Propellers are loud, and that's the only technology we have.
Yeah.
We don't have anti-gravity or whatever it takes to, do it the right way. And so it's turbines or fans, and that shit's loud.
Maybe one of the most interesting men alive today.
I would agree.
He's
after that.
He's a bit of a capitalist pig. Like he's kind of an asshole, and
He is. He's like Tony Stark, bro.
He definitely should never be president and stuff.
No.
But he's definitely very interesting. But he needs to be kept in check, just like his AI does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But have you driven a Tesla?
No,
No, I have not.
You guys go to U City. Just tell them
they don't care if you're in the market or not. They just
I
want you to
can't
drive
afford
one.
a Tesla.
They don't care.
Can I test drive it? They're gonna be like, yeah.
I don't think they care.
They don't.
Christopher says they don't care if you're in the market.
They
Just go
don't
drive one.
They don't get commission, do they? I don't think they get
I think
commission.
they do.
I don't think they get commission. I'm not sure if they do.
Well, they have a quota though,
Maybe.
right?
But I think their model is to get as many people to test drive it as possible, because people like me are gonna a year and a half later since when he drove one, it's gonna say how amazing that shit was, because it was.
Luke's thinking about getting one, by the way. I know nobody knows who Luke is, but we have a friend who's in the market. Might
Is
get
he?
one. Or might be our first friend to get a Tesla.
Well, Sarah's mom just got a Tesla,
Oh, okay.
so
Dope. Which one? The minivan?
no.
Really? The Roadster or what?
I forgot. So which one's the van? The S?
Shit, I don't know.
Z? R? I don't know.
There's the S, the 3, and the X, which spells sex.
X is the SUV, right?
Sure.
So she had the S.
Okay. And then 3 is the new one that's supposed to be cheap,
Yeah.
but they're on the $50,000 model now. And as soon as those sell out, they'll be down to like 30, 35, something like that.
All right. Well, quick hits, and then we're out. So, movies.
Movies. I watched the director for Superman 1 got removed from Superman 2, Richard Donner.
Mm-hmm.
And the studio didn't like the direction he was taking it, so they took whatever footage they could salvage, brought in a new director, and reshot the rest of the film. But you can now go find the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 out there on the internet. And
Did you
I watched
watch it?
And it was good.
Was it good?
It was really good. And Kim, my gal, watched it with me, and this was the first time she's
My gal.
she grew up watching Superman 2, and half the movie she's like, I do not remember this. So there's a lot of footage. But the whole Earth spinning backwards thing they did in the first movie, they did it again. And it
Son
really
of a
pissed
bitch.
me off because that's really dumb.
So, as a kid, I loved Superman 4.
Which one is that?
That's the one with the sun god with the nails, and Superman gets sick and
Yeah, and
becomes
he gets, like,
Dark Superman.
Oh, okay.
And like fights himself in the junkyard.
That's as close to we ever got as Bizarro, right?
Like, yeah.
Bizarro
This
Superman?
is way before Bizarro was even a concept, I think.
Really?
Yeah, this Bizarro wasn't. Yeah, Bizarro was
Okay.
later.
All right, I believe you.
So there was this documentary on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there, but it's about the company that made Superman 4 because it's a completely different company. And they were known for these shit films. And Superman 4 was supposed to be their big break, but it was a shit film too.
That's too bad.
So they took over and like completely fucked it up. And I want to, is it, I don't know what company it's called. I'm trying to look it up now, but the only thing I'm finding is Canon Films, and I don't think that was it.
To keep things moving, I'm finally watching the new Iron Fist, and 2 episodes in, I kind of like it.
Yeah,
You know, Iron Fist is pretty good. Choreography is.
I'm one episode in, and I don't like it that much, but.
So one of my biggest complaints with the last one, I'm kind of a kung fu dork, and I hate it when cameras cut on the point of impact. Right? You should at least let me see what you're hitting, and it's a really bad trope for movies to cut right on impact. I don't know why. It's really weird. But this fixed it. There's like the camera cuts a lot, but there's still 3 to 5 seconds of solid choreography that the people obviously had to learn and memorize before the camera cuts again. So the fight scenes are pretty good. Nice close quarters, lots of kung fu and stuff. It's good. And the story's good enough. It's a little slow, but that's Netflix shows are famously pretty slow.
I think I'm realizing that Netflix shows aren't as good as I thought they were. The Netflix Marvel shows.
I would argue that Luke Cage 1 and 2 and Jessica Jones is probably some of the best TV ever made.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're wrong. Okay, cool.
What are you watching?
Nothing.
Nothing. What are you
YouTube.
watching?
I'm watching Ozark right now.
Oh, okay.
2nd season. I'm only like 3 episodes in, but I'm honestly really far behind on all my TV right now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing a Shameless binge, trying to catch up on Shameless.
I haven't watched the new season yet. I've seen every episode of that series.
Yeah, I'm on season 8, 4 left. So we're trying to catch up so we can watch the currently.
Have you watched Castle Rock?
No.
The Stephen King show? It's
Nope.
making waves. People talking about it. It's a big deal. It's interesting. It's got the guy that played Pennywise as one of the villains.
He's a good actor. He's in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
If you like really like that, when you learn his face, he's in a lot of shit.
Yeah. He's got an interesting name too.
Yeah. He looks like Pennywise.
He's an interesting looking guy.
He's an interesting looking guy.
Yeah.
But he's in a lot of shit. Yeah, that's it. I'm not really movies wise.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Solo coming out
Tonight?
Yeah. I gotta go see The Nun because I was The Nun last Halloween.
Yeah. Apparently it's pretty good.
I was ahead of my time.
Yeah, people like it.
Yeah.
Said it's not the strongest in the series, but it's still good.
I heard there's a twist at the end that's insane.
Really?
That's
cool.
I keep seeing YouTube videos about ending explained.
Yeah.
So. Video games. Do you play video games?
I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
That's one part of your guys' show. Like
you tune
have
out?
no idea. What you're, no, I listen
Yeah.
because a lot of my
Do you
friends are
mentally
gamers.
check out though? You're like,
Here's my problem with video games. I was always one system behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like when everyone had Super Nintendo, I was stuck on regular Nintendo, and then people finally moved on to Nintendo 64, and I got stuck with a Super Nintendo. So
Yeah.
I think
we got the better system in that deal.
by the
but-
age of 12, I was kind of just like, fuck this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm too far behind, and I was never good at it. I don't know what it was. My little brother was way better than me, but I just never got into it. I don't know what it was.
Well, we never grew out of it.
Nope. Hooked since birth.
That's right.
Well, it's a huge industry now. Like,
Yeah.
Bigger than Hollywood.
yeah,
Yeah.
people watch like YouTube videos of people playing video games.
Yes.
I
yes,
do
I
it
yes, I do.
every day. Every day.
You're correct.
All right. Well,
But yeah, Battlefield 5 beta.
yeah.
Like
it a lot.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's
We
amazing.
probably should have talked about that more, but we're out of time. Spider-Man's great. Go play it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
Oh.
that's how you do an exclusive. By the way, if you're
Right.
your PS4,
Yeah.
that's how you do an exclusive.
That and God of War. So somebody had an Easter egg that there was a 9/11 reflection in the towers.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to the address of where the towers were, you turn around and look at that building, and there's a reflection of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I tracked it down today. Not only was it in the completely wrong spot, but on my way there, I saw reflections of things that weren't behind me. So the reflection system in the game is,
Yeah.
So
Funny Easter egg. Funnier Easter egg. So this kid, maybe last year, tweeted to the developers of Spider-Man like, "Hey, I want to propose to my girlfriend. Can you put, will you marry me, Maddie, in the game somewhere?"
it's on a marquee at a theater.
Yeah, Marquini Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And they said,
Sure.
all right, if the developers are cool with it, we'll do it.
They did.
And they did it. And she left him before. She left him
They broke up a few weeks before the game came out.
before the game came out.
Did he like pay to get it on there?
No.
No,
They
it was-
did it kindness of the heart.
Oh, complimentary.
And
That's kind of cool.
apparently
That's
she left him for his brother.
No.
That's
That's
false.
been debunked. Yep.
Thank
But
you.
it didn't
I thought that
stop.
was really weird.
They didn't stop the internet from hounding her, of course. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And the developer said, "Do you want us to change it to something else?"
And I think they are.
And a patch?
I think they're going to patch it to honor somebody's grandmother who died during production.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Fun, random video game facts. Because at the core, we are video gamers.
Yep. Oh, shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you, Tony Bricks, for
man.
coming through and blessing
Yeah.
us with your presence, man. We
I
appreciate it.
appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was a good, fun conversation.
It was.
No one took jabs at anybody.
Shit, man. No feelings.
I took a jab at.
No feelings were hurt. Everybody's laughing and having a good time.
I enjoyed it.
That's ideal.
I'm drinking 9% beer.
Yeah,
Holy
this is-
shit.
this
I
is
could only
good.
have one. It tastes like someone took a beer and poured like vodka in it.
This is called Squatters Craft Beer.
Because wherever you are when you drink it, you're going to stay there for 6 months and take over.
We're drinking their double IPA. It's a 9% IPA. It's pretty good.
It's really good. A double IPA.
Yeah.
But I do want to try those forehands. I'm about to get those at the store. I didn't know they had different flavors.
I think I should do a swap.
Yeah.
You want to do a swap? Do a
Yeah.
swap.
Which of the 3 flavors do you want?
So there's a regular contact high, right? Which
Yeah.
is,
Yeah. There's a lime and then there's like a passion fruit.
I've had the Prusa. Is that the Prusa?
No.
That's
No.
so it's different than that.
Prussia, which is
Prussia.
a capital of something, isn't it? Prussia?
I don't know.
It's Czech Republic is Prussia.
Okay, I've had high juiced and I've had contact high. I've never had high lime.
You want one?
Yeah, that's straight out.
What's Prussia? I want to know what Prussia is.
Thank you.
Whether or not this gets edited. Hey, we got time to edit out anyway because you took a.
Yeah, no, like, we went over.
Okay.
We went
Prussia
over.
is a state, predominantly German. It was dissolved by Germany. So
Cool story. All right, thank you, Tony Bish. Thank you, Tony Bish, for coming. I almost did it again. Almost said Nightcap Podcast. 60-minute shit show.
Yeah.
I'm Tech Supreme, co-host.
Sketch Sawyer.
And check us out. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe.
like, share, hit that like button at
Smash
the
that
bottom
like.
of the page. Hit that bell so you get notifications. If I had a YouTube channel, I'd be ready.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Thanks, y'all. Peace.
Peace out.